Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about the One Piece card game. Today I am doing a deck profile for probably the best budget deck in the game, and that is Uta. This is by and large just starter decks with a few additional pieces that are more optional, and it's a really good deck to sort of if you want to just take something to locals and have fun with it. This is probably the best deck. It's a really good way to sort of get people into the game as well, because it's just buy 4 starter decks and you have functionally the entire deck. Obviously it is a significantly lower power level than it could be if you just get all the extra bits, but I do think the prices of Nami should hopefully be going down soon with the reprint, the alternate art reprint, which should flood the market hopefully with loads of them, and get those prices down. Not much you can do about the top end, but you can just play like worse top end, which is fine. Uta just says draw 1 a turn basically, which, you know, is pretty good. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the profile. So I'm going to start off with sort of the film package just to set that out. So it's obviously 4 Luffy, 4 Brook, 4 Nami. I've lost one, so one of them's upside down. Don't worry about it. 4 Uta, 4 Usopp, 4 Chopper, 4 Law. And then I'll do the events here as well. 4 New Genesis, 3 I'm Invincible, and also 2 Backlight. So let's talk about all this, just so you have the sort of context. So the way this deck basically works is you're drawing a lot of cards each turn, and you're just playing out like bodies to try and overwhelm your opponent. The idea is, I mean, hopefully on your 7 or 8 Don turn, you just go, okay, cool, Luffy, Brook, Uta, or Luffy, Brook, Nami. Or you go Luffy, Brook, Law, and then bounce and play a Nami. So I guess that doesn't really matter. No, it's just Luffy, Brook. Like, it's something here, right? It's 3 things here. Failing that, it would be like Luffy into anything else, basically. The point is, you just want to be playing like a lot of dudes out. That's what you want to be doing. And there's a few things you can do in the early game as well that sort of synergize with that. So one of the most powerful things you can do if you go second is play Law out first. And the reason that's so good is because you can then play out 2 3-drops on turn 2. Going second, because you Law effect to play like 1 3-drop out, and then you just hard play the other 3-drop out, which is obviously really, really good. You also have quite a lot of consistency in this deck because you have the ability to draw all the time, and also just a free top steps 3. This card untaps the Don you use, so it's literally free. So you just add any film. Why are we playing these cards outside of that? Well, frankly, we don't have better ones. And I definitely think this deck, almost out of every deck in the game, has the most room to grow, because frankly, most of the cards are kind of bad, right? Like, Luffy is a 7/7 without counter, blocker, it plays the thing out. That's fine. It's not that good, right? Brook at least has a counter, but it's a 4/5, so it's pretty expensive and it plays something out. Nami is like the only objectively pretty good card in the deck. I was saying with Uta, like basically before like the starter deck. Usopp is a vanilla 3/5. The moment we get something better, we're probably playing that, right? Chopper is a 2k counter, but it's terrible, right? Like, you never play it. Law is fine. It enables a cute play, but it probably gets cut fairly speedily. New Genesis, I'm Invincible, and Backlight and Uta are all actively crazy cards. And every single new card in the Uta starter deck is like massively revolutionized the deck and made it play way, way better. So Uta lets you untap your Luffys, which is massive, because before you basically either you had no defense or you had no offense. You were either leaving your Luffys stood, or you were like swinging with them and therefore just dying to like a bunch of aggro, right? This deck does not struggle with aggro now, because firstly, you can swing with your Luffys and untap them by pitching your excess events, which means you don't always want to be just spamming New Genesis. Actually, if you've got the cards you need, you kind of want to hold on to it to discard off of Uta. I'm Invincible is a kid effect, right? And so that's pretty good. You can just go like 12/12, which is always really, really solid. Just end the game. Backlight is insanely strong. You just pop Arrested 5 cost, or rest an opponent's 5 cost. So against decks that are walling up just through a blocker, you can go Backlight 10/10 with a I'm Invincible combo and just close out the game that way, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's really, really solid. So that's like the film package. That's sort of what it does. Now, then we get into the cards that we're supplementing it with. So we're playing 4 Ezo. This is because it is the 12th 2k counter. It is the best 2k counter in green that you could just throw into this. It's tapping down 4 costs. It's relatively cheap. And it's just very solid. It's just going to let you get you that additional aggro. Be really careful when you play this, though, because you need the counter. Then we have to buy 2 more starter decks to get 4 copies of Mihawk, because this card is absolutely nuts. And this can enable some proper silly stuff, really. Some like really proper silly stuff in terms of just being able to like giga spam out your board, which is obviously always really, really good. And so, you know, basically you play this out, then you get to, so what the combo is, turn 2, yeah. So the most insane silly thing you can do is turn 1, you go second, you play Law. Turn 2, you pay 1, bounce Law, play Mihawk. Mihawk plays out Brook. Brook then plays out like another Law, and then you like use Law to bounce it, play another 3-drop, like a Nami or something, and you get your top search off Nami, and then you swing 6 with Uta to draw. That's like absolutely insane, right? Like by every objective measure, that is crazy. Doesn't happen very often, but like that's the sort of ceiling of the deck, right? That's turn 2. It's really hard for your opponent to deal with that much aggro coming at them from turn 2, right? Like, are they going to be able to establish a board? Probably not. You're going to be able to just, on the next turn after that, be going like 5, 5, 5, 5 with your leader, like for almost nothing, just go boom, 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 keep pushing really, really hard. So it's a massive combo enabler, being able to do that. And before we were playing things like Zoro, which was like fine, but like this is way better. And then your actual top end is, I'm playing 2 Kid and 3 Zoro. So basically, Zoro reads remove me or you die next turn. So it's just a check to the opponent, like, do they have removal? Yes. Okay. They get to live that turn, potentially. No. Okay, cool, you lose. So yeah, you're not really going to do much on the turn you slam down Zoro. The idea is play it on curve and be like, do you have something? Can you kill me this turn? I guess you die. And then Kid is just a wall up, is just a really, really good card. You get to slam out a 3 cost for free, which obviously can be really, really funny when you play an 8 cost Kid on curve, and then you play out a Mihawk, and then you play out a Brook, and then you play out an Uta. So this one card suddenly chains into all these. You end up with a blocker open, and if it's on your 9 down turn, you get to wall up with the Kid effect, or you get swing 6, depending on what's best. It's pretty good. So yeah, the deck is fine. I think in this form it could top a tournament. I think you need to get really lucky to do better than a top, because I don't think it necessarily is like that strong. It's just really pretty easy to pilot. You know, it's fairly, you know, it's not generous necessarily in terms of like if you make a misplay, like it can be quite punishing, but like it's fairly easy to get up to the level where you're probably not making those misplays. And it's pretty straightforward to play. Like, it's not taking huge mental load, and you'll just blow people out sometimes. Like, if you just get lucky. Like, against a Sakazuki player, like, sometimes, like, a lot of Sakazuki players are not actually that good, and they just don't manage, like, their resources properly. They don't know what they need for the matchup, so you could just, like, absolutely cook them sometimes, which obviously feels really good when it happens. But yeah, that is the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel for lots more One Piece card game content. So much coming. Check out my Patreon, linked in the description, if you want to support the channel. I'd really appreciate the support. And you can find in-depth guides to all sorts of meta decks over on there for the low price of £5 a month, which I think is pretty low. And I think it's really worth it. But there we go. That's it. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Cheers.